I found this beautiful female cellar spider with her egg sac in our bathroom as she was moving around on the wall, struggling quite a bit to stay on this relatively smooth substrate. Then she ended up relaxing on the laundry hamper. I spent about 40 minutes recording, then gently relocated her on a piece of paper to a corner in our living room where she will be able to look after her babies undisturbed. Hopefully many of her spiderlings will survive after they hatch. Now let's learn a little bit about their reproductive behavior, why females carry their egg sacs in their chelicerae, and we'll also touch on the composition of cellar spider egg sacs. Mating for cellar spiders can be a prolonged process, sometimes lasting several hours. The male inserts his sperm-loaded pedipalps into the female's epigynom, which is the external genital opening on the underside of her abdomen. Then he transfers the sperm into a special storage cavity. Female cellar spiders often mate with multiple males. To increase his chances of fathering the offspring, the male performs rhythmic movements during copulation. This action can remove or even displace any sperm already stored from previous matings, giving the new male sperm priority for fertilizing the eggs. The female can store the sperm for a period of time in her uterus externus until conditions are right, for example there is sufficient food, to fertilize her eggs and lay them. After mating, the female will lay a cluster of 20 to 30 eggs, loosely wrapped in silk. She will then carry this egg sac in her chelicerae until the spiderlings hatch. Cellar spiders, also known as daddy long-leg spiders, typically carry their egg sac for an incubation period of about 2 to 3 weeks. The eggs usually take between 17 to 24 days to hatch under typical indoor conditions, which cellar spiders prefer due to stable temperatures. During this time, the female spider is highly dedicated. She holds the loosely spun, spherical egg sac in her chelicerae and pedipalps, constantly guarding and carrying it. She often avoids feeding during this period. Even after the eggs hatch, the mother may continue to carry the cluster of newly emerged spiderlings, also known as pre-nymphs, for a few additional days, often around a week, until they undergo their first molt and are ready to disperse from her web. This time can vary slightly, depending on the temperature and humidity of the environment, but the dedicated carrying of the egg sac in her mouthparts is one of the most distinctive behaviors of the female cellar spider. The primary reason female cellar spiders carry their egg sac in their chelicerae is to provide maximum protection and mobility for their developing offspring. Unlike many other spiders that cement their egg sac to their web and then abandon it, the cellar spider's method offers several key advantages. By holding the egg sac in her jaws, the mother can actively and constantly guard the eggs. The proximity ensures she is always ready to defend the eggs from predators such as ants, parasitic wasps, or other insects. The mother's body acts as a physical shield. Since she holds the sac right under her cephalothorax, which is the front body section, she can tuck it close to her body, making it harder for a small predator to access. The mother can move the egg sac to the most favorable microclimate within her web or surrounding area. This allows her to regulate temperature and humidity by moving the sac to a drier, darker or warmer spot as needed for the egg's development. If the web or location is disturbed or threatened, she can quickly move the eggs to a safer area, ensuring the entire clutch isn't lost. Cellar spiders build loose, irregular, messy webs. Unlike orb weavers that build strong, permanent silk sacs, the cellar spider's egg sac is often a simple, thin silk wrapping where the individual eggs are clearly visible. Carrying it is a necessary method of consolidation and security, as the loose silk would not be strong enough to simply hang safely in her erratic web. While using her jaws limits her ability to eat, it is the most effective way for this particular species to hold a spherical object continuously while still being able to maneuver her long legs for walking and web shaking. This behavior is a form of maternal care that maximizes the survival rate of the eggs, as the mother only produces a small number of sacs, typically 2 to 3 in her lifetime, each containing between 13 and 60 eggs. The eggs of a cellar spider are protected by an egg sac primarily made out of spider silk. The individual eggs are held together in a loose bundle by strands of silk. Unlike many other spiders that create dense, paper-like or fuzzy egg sacs, cellar spiders wrap their eggs loosely with only a few strands of silk. Because the silk covering is thin, the individual eggs are often easily visible within the sac, giving it a somewhat bumpy or granular appearance, sometimes described as resembling a pinkish-white blackberry. The individual eggs themselves, like those of other spiders, are composed of the materials necessary for the developing spiderling, primarily yolk for nutrients and energy, enclosed in a protective shell or chorion. Newly laid eggs are often described as pearly white. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this educational video about the amazing maternal care female seller spiders exhibit. Also leave a comment down below if you'd like to add something, and don't forget to subscribe for more nature videos, and catch you all in the next one.